What is going on, YouTubers? It is Tony1230, and tonight I'm actually doing a small crappily animated review of The Last of Us. Yes. Now, I just basically wanted to go over this game real quick because I definitely think that it deserved a review. So, it is currently 3 in the morning, so forgive me if the animation and the drawings are crap. I just quickly put this together in say an hour and I just wanted to get on with it. Anyways, so I just kind of wanted to go over the basics with you guys because anything I really go deep into here is kind of a spoiler alert. So, um, yeah, anyways, let's get into this here. So, I will not be spoiling anything, by the way, so just to let you all know. This review will be really quick, but it should cover the basics really well. Alright, so first off, we have the story. Okay, so the story actually consists of two main characters. Now, these characters are Joel, crappily drawn Joel, which is a man, obviously, and yeah, let's say some stuff happens, and he's forced to do some things that, well, you know, aren't so great. And yeah, let's move on to the second person, which is Ellie. And she is a 14-year-old girl, which you run into a little later in the game. But she's the second main character. Now, there is a lot of mystery kind of at the beginning surrounding why Ellie's actually there. But, right, back to the story. Okay, so the story is actually about infection, and infection is actually called cordyceps. There we go. And basically, what that is a real life fungi. And what it does is it affects ants mainly. It drives them absolutely batshit insane. Basically, when the spore from the fungi actually comes in contact with the ant, it actually burrows into the ant, making it basically takes control of its brain, and it starts just freaking out. It'll climb the nearest tree, the nearest branch. However, it just wants to get high. It will then use its mandibles to actually clamp down on a branch or whatever, and it will just die there. Once it's dead, an actual stem of a fungi will actually grow from the back of its neck. That'll actually release spores that will fall down upon the nest of ants. And it's actually really cool because if an ant actually sees a dead body of the kind of the quote unquote infected, it'll actually take it and dump it somewhere far away from the nest, which is really cool. But here's a picture that I found that describes pretty much what I'm explaining here. So, as you can see, Mr. Ant here has seen better days, and there is a fungi growing out of the back of his neck here, which is really interesting. And obviously, it eventually starts taking fold, but that basically gives us our enemies, which is what if this fungi, this airborne disease, this uh, this creepy, small, harmless to us because we breathe so many spores in. But what if it took effect to us? And so basically, it's a really cool idea. I don't think this is actually thoroughly explained in the game. There is some snippets kind of telling you as to what it is, but other than that, you're kind of on your own. But yeah, so basically, the game takes place 20 years after the first infection. And so, it's kind of the 28 days later where you don't know what's going on, but you play as, Joel, and it's kind of every man for himself. It's the typical kind of zombie genre, and, yeah, no, and it's, oh man. Let's kind of dip into some gameplay here. The biggest feature that I love about The Last of Us is actually the combat mechanics. Now, this isn't anything you haven't seen before. This game is made by Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog made the Uncharted series, so it is kind of taking after that in the fact that it's a third-person over-the-shoulder shooter. However, calling it a shooter is doesn't do it justice. The actual premise of the game is that you are in the apocalypse. Ammo is not a commodity that just kind of happens upon every single dead body you find. You actually have to scavenge for it. You have to make every single last bullet count because the game does not give you a lot of ammo, like at all. I mean, over time, I guess if you play the game wisely, kind of like I did the first time, not so much the second time, um, but if you play it, I mean, okay, yeah, you can stock up on some ammo, but eventually you're gonna need to use it. Like, it's one of those games where the fighting, the killing is kind of inevitable. But yeah, no. As far as the story goes, um, I don't know how much more I can say without really going into spoilers. But like I said, you're Joel, and it is your job to take Ellie somewhere. Now this kind of leads. I believe you start off in Philadelphia. I believe, and you go all across the United States in your journey to take this girl to this location. Now, again, I don't want to spoil anything because her presence in the game is, even though it's not a mystery, I mean, as soon as you find her, you kind of, or as soon as you see her in game, it explains itself. But she is a very important role in this game. Not only for the reason I just kind of really crappily tried not to spoil, um, but not only for that, but for Joel, the main character. Their their kind of relationship, they're sassy, they're sarcastic, snarky. Well, not snarky, but fuck. Okay, I don't want to ruin anything. I'm just gonna stop with that. But no, I mean the entire game is it's a big chunk of game actually when you really think about it. I'm just gonna kind of move this back over here. Yeah, let's take a look at some stuff. Um, but the game is actually quite a long game. I think the first playthrough took me about 14 hours, and that's, well, me, because I like scavenging a lot, like, a lot. But no, it took me about 14 hours to go through. There is a bunch of bonus things you can unlock after you beat the game. Alternate outfits, alternate filters for your screen, so you can have like an old west looking thing, and anyways, etc., etc. That's really neat. But then there is also a multiplayer function, like a feature that's fully implemented in there as well. And this was actually really interesting because they took the kill or be killed, survive, make every shot count to multiplayer, which is really cool. I mean, the fact is that yes, you can buy ammo, but you need to get points by killing, crafting, spotting targets, helping out your team, and you can really you can really upgrade yourself, I guess. So you can spend the points on either buying ammunition for your current loadout, which you can Call of Duty style unlock and equip, and second of all, you can buy a gun because you have a point system like in Black Ops 2. You have, I think it's 10 points to mess around with your class. And one of the things you can do is you can set up points to have a purchasable weapon that you can, it's kind of like a, not an OP weapon, but it has one magazine pretty much, and it's M16, the fully automatic M16, opposed to your bolt action rifles, your bow and arrows, all that kind of stuff, right? And I think there's a flamethrower, a couple other things like that. Anyway, so you can deck out your class with that, or buy a body armor, and it has a lot of actually, like I said, it's got focusing a lot around stealth instead of just running gun, which is really cool to see in a game like this. I mean, like the scavenging is still in there too. You can find supply drops that'll actually give you items necessary to craft, Molotovs, smoke bombs, nail bombs, etc. Like just some makeshift quote unquote grenades and other kind of objects, which I won't go too far into. But Yeah, no, and you can also upgrade your weapons using the same points I was talking about before. And yeah, the only downside that I found about it so far is that its hit detection is a little strange. In some cases, with some weapons, it'll be better than others, which is kind of bizarre, but I don't know. Maybe it's my connection. Don't know. And the other thing is that there's only two modes available, which isn't bad because it has a really cool concept behind the game type. There's a survivors mode, which is basically um, a team. It's a pretty much team deathmatch. You die once, you're dead, and you gotta wait till everybody's dead to restart the round, etc., etc. Pretty self-explanatory. You can revive teammates. Um, it's pretty basic. And then the second one is a supply, like a supply drop kind of. I think it's called supply drop. Yes, and basically what that is it is the same idea, except you have a set number of respawns for your entire team. I think it's 30 per team, and whoever wears down all the numbers will win. So there's not too much variety in the terms of multiplayer, but again, the whole feel of the multiplayer is completely unheard of. I've never seen anything like it before. It's really neat. It's really well done. Its focus is heavily on sound, and it's just it's just really tense. Because most running guns, you can just go pop around corners, shoot 360 no scope, no problem. But this game is very, very focused on keeping it realistic, if that makes sense. But I mean, so there's just way too much to talk about without. I don't want to spoil too much. So anyway, so basically, my final verdict here: the story is absolutely amazing. It is so well told that there is no game that has told a better story with such good characters. I mean, BioShock Infinite definitely comes up in the second here. So if you enjoyed BioShock Infinite, I would definitely strongly recommend you pick up The Last of Us. So Mr. Story here gets a big old 10 out of 10. The graphics. Now, this game. I don't know how it managed to absolutely juice the PS3 for all its freaking worth. I mean, I was kind of expecting this game to come out on PS4, but apparently it's not. But I mean, the game looks absolutely jaw-dropping. I mean, the set pieces that you're in, they're pretty average. They're pretty average, and the skyboxes and the backgrounds, they're just absolutely gorgeous. The water effects, everything. It looks absolutely phenomenal. So, I mean, like, I'm gonna give that a 9 because I've seen a couple texturing issues and one really messed up one in multiplayer. The multiplayer obviously is a little bit scaled down, which is come to expect. But I mean, look at Crisis. I mean, that's really comparing apples to oranges, but I mean, it doesn't really compromise on the fact so of the graphics carrying over from single player to multiplayer. They look pretty much identical, so not entirely sure why a game like this couldn't be able to pull it off, but oh well. Anyways, and as far as the multiplayer goes, it is a fun, fresh, unique take on any kind of multiplayer I've ever played, and it's actually a lot of fun when it works. Like I said, there's that hit detection issue that really ruins the fun for me because I can pull off this amazing shot and then it won't count. And it's like, okay, well, that was my last bullet, so I don't know what the fuck to do now. So that was pretty much one of the downsides of this. So I am actually going to give that an 8, meaning my overall would be a 9 out of 10, which is one above what I would give Bioshock Infinite. But no, definitely my game of the year, motherfucker. But yeah, no, I strongly recommend if you guys have a PS3, pick it up and try it yourself. I really wish I could go more in depth, I do a more in depth review of this game, but unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to without going into big ass spoiler territory, because every twist and turn, there's characters that come and go. There is new story elements that kind of add in this twists and turns, and then the end scene. Oh my god, the end scene, and the very fact that you're controlling it is like, oh shit. Oh, I don't know how they would, but they have to make a sequel. They have to. I don't care how they do it. I don't care. They can even just scrap it and be like, what if the virus is in Antarctica? Or the infection is in Antarctica? I'd play it. I'd play the living fuck out of that. I don't even care if I was fighting like ninja seals. Like, it would just be my dream come true. Anyways, I think I covered most of it. I mean, I didn't go over any of the infected because that's really a treat you should see for yourself. I mean, like I said, the enemies and all that, I didn't really go over, but I mean, there's not really much to go over. I mean, there's obviously, humans and the infected. I mean, it's if you couldn't see that from the title, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So again, though, the infected are a pleasure to. They take the regular run-of-the-mill zombie and they make them interesting, which is amazing. But no, Naughty Dog has seriously outdone themselves for this game. The opening scene made me tear up something fierce, and then the end scene made me feel like a complete, well, not a badass, but it just gave me that feeling of shit's gonna go downtown, the Brown Town. Wait, I said that wrong. But anyways, guys, I've wasted enough of your time. If you have a PS3, go pick up this game now. And thank me later. Anyways, guys, as always, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to my face, which you currently cannot see. Slap that like button with your infected clickers, which are something. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
Do you like the song? What the f was that?